You're watching PTV.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Arnie.
I'm Ben.
I'm
the Orlando guy.
This is the Orlando guy. We have the Orlando guy with us tonight to as we are commenting.
Hell has frozen over. I'm here.
We are just going to have some fun together. We're going to be watching a movie together, and we're going to be commenting about it, as well as having just conversations about anything and everything. So just pull up a chair and just listen to the chat. We're going to have some fun watching a movie here. Christmas at the Plaza. It is a 2019 film on Hallmark Channel, one of their Christmas films starring Ryan Paevey. Who is the heroine in this film? I forget her name.
Elizabeth Hestridge.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. No, it's Jessica.
Jessica.
Her name is Jessica.
That's right, Jessica.
And she loves
Jessica. What is it that the woman from the Plaza says? It's your problem. It's up to you to fix it. What does she say?
Oh, this is your problem, Jessica.
You need
to fix this.
Yes.
I've seen this movie more times this season than I care to admit.
You know what? But I love this film, Ben. I just absolutely love this, and I've told you guys this more than on one occasion. This film has one of the best music scores for any Hallmark film. The incidental music. I'm going to point it out when we get there because it's always the same point. It is the most beautiful, just incidental music that's in this film, and it just makes the transitions beautifully.
It has that essence of jazz in it that just really brightens the whole film.
Well, you know what? I'm really going to have to listen for that because when I have watched it, I haven't really paid much attention to the music.
Oh, yeah, definitely got to pay attention to the music.
Well, all right, so I'm going to point it out to you. Okay, so when she's standing in line with her friend for like cocoa or something like that, and then she gets called away because she's got to go off and be an elf or something like that. There's a transition from that scene to where she's in her apartment and she's sitting on her couch and she's looking at the pictures, and she finds the tree that doesn't have a topper on it. That transition music, just listen to the transition music. It's absolutely gorgeous transition music.
Well, the problem with that, though, is that Sherry and I have the movie on mute over here because we're so busy that we're not going to be able to listen to the soundtrack or whatever.
We can talk about.
When it gets to that point, we can mute us and listen to the music.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, you guys can turn it up just a little bit, right? I mean, it's not going to be like loud.
No.
Well, yeah. We'll be able to mute on. We'll be able to mute us so we can hear the transition music or whatever. And
anyway, so everyone that's just joining right now, we're going to be watching Christmas at the Plaza. This is a film that we actually own in our digital library. I believe Richard has it and Ben has it as well. So all three of us are going to be watching it. We're going to comment as the film plays while we're watching it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And
where's Doug?
There are people here. Doug is actually cleaning the kitchen right now.
Really?
Yes.
I
tried setting this up in the kitchen, could not get all the connections right. So I thought, nope, I'm not going to force it. And it's just not going to work. Let's make it work. So
the other reason why we're doing this, we should point this out, is that we're going to Disneyland next week.
Yes.
And so we're all happy that we finally. Okay. Well,
I see Juan Rodriguez.
I see that we're going to have to buy Sherry a lot of
tchotchkes.
No,
to make up for this.
No, I'm actually very, very happy for you guys. I think you're going to have a wonderful time.
But if we find something with Tinkerbell on it, I don't think she would complain.
Yeah, I don't think.
Good to know.
So when do we want to start?
Arnie, does Doug need to join us? Or are we waiting for him, or are we going to go?
Doug is actually cleaning. He really is cleaning the kitchen right now. There's a lot to do in there, and then he's going to start rolling out some cookies too. We've got gingerbread and sugar cookies that are baking. We've already.
Do we have a camera in there so we can see him?
I wish we did. I could not get a connection in there.
All right.
I know. I feel like the world's worst mother. My youngest called me today to check in about the time we're leaving tomorrow, and he asked me, "Have you baked any Christmas cookies yet, Mom?" I said, "No, I'm going to be doing it after Christmas." I felt horrible.
Which one, Jeff or Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jeff's had his share of Christmas cookies with Megan baking up a storm.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Okay, so what kind of Christmas cookies do you bake, Sherry?
Oh, I do snickerdoodles. I do caramel cookies. I do, this year I'm going to be doing a new recipe for a spumoni cookie with pistachio and cherries and chocolate.
That sounds wonderful.
If she gets them done before I leave, you're not going
No,
to.
I
That'll
won't.
happen after I leave.
Yeah.
I'll be lucky to get any cookies at all.
Well, we will be bringing cookies with us for sure.
I do shortbread. What else do I do?
Well, we do chocolate.
Molasses cookies.
We do gingerbread, sugar cookies. We do eggnog cookies. We want to try and maybe get some thumbprint or peanut butter, and as well as we've already done the Mexican wedding cookies or snowballs.
Well, growing up in the desert Southwest, we would always make, I don't know if you guys are familiar with biscuititos. You ever heard of biscuitito? Okay. It's basically, I don't know, was it anise in it? I don't know what the ingredients are in it, but it's a Mexican type of cookie. That's kind of traditional for the desert Southwest during Christmas time.
Okay.
So for those of you just joining, Richard, the Orlando guy, is with us tonight. He does apologize. We tried getting it work. The webcam that he has is pretty old and does not really work too well, but at least
try 1995.
Is that the
We've
one
got
that's
an audio connection
every 5 seconds?
Oh my gosh. You would not think that the Orlando guy doesn't have any good technology, but I have I have good cameras. I just don't have a webcam. It's sad, but this still is kind of historic because I have not appeared on anybody's live stream ever. This is the first time.
That's true.
This is true. This is very true. So why don't we go ahead and get started? We're going to be watching.
You tell me, Arnie, and I've got my hand on the button here.
I will do that. We are starting.
I'm on pause over here. It says Hallmark Channel presents.
Okay, wonderful. We are watching Christmas at the Plaza, the 2019 Christmas movie from Hallmark Channel, starring Ryan Paevey and Elizabeth
Henstridge.
That's it.
All right. We're starting. Where are we at?
Okay, and we are starting in 3, 2, 1.
Crown Media Productions.
Yes.
Okay. New York.
Flying.
Okay.
It's the most wonderful time.
Okay. Christmas at the Plaza. So, for those of you who are watching, Sherry has some Christmas wrapping to do. So, we're hanging out here in our dining room. I've got both of my Hallmark trees behind me. This one is nothing but Disney Hallmark. And this one is all traditional Hallmark. And there's still a little bit of room to put ornaments on, so I will continue to purchase over the years. But this, like right here, is Chatterphone, front and center. But this is my Hallmark tree. This is my Disney Hallmark tree.
And behind us.
Behind me, up above, are ornaments from the Golden Gate Bridge. That's a nod to the Bay Area where we live.
And that was an annual tradition through last year, right?
Yes.
Oh, she's got cocoa on her.
Oh,
that
terrible.
Dreadful child.
Yeah. You know, that I think that's the only reference to a mopey kid in this whole movie.
Now, here we've reached the scene where Bruce Davison, who portrays what is it, Brookwater? What is his name? Reginald Brookwater. Okay. He is such a national treasure. I love his acting in this film. It's just superb.
He's done hundreds of roles.
Yes. And where have I known him from somewhere? I mean, he's so familiar. He's one of those character actors. You've seen him in a billion films, and I don't know where he's from.
Was he in Scarecrow and Mrs. King?
No, that was Bruce Boxleitner.
That's it. Bruce Boxleitner was that.
There's some foreshadowing there with him giving that handkerchief to her that shows up again later in the movie.
It certainly does.
Really?
Yes, in the scene, Ben, when she is with Dennis on the bench and they're breaking up, he kind of spills
Oh,
coffee
right.
on her, and she pulls out the same handkerchief.
Okay, that's right.
And that's
Some
a key.
foreshadowing.
That's a key line as well. He just said nothing unimportant ever happens at the plaza.
Dennis.
Here we go. Here, stretching his arm, raising his thumb up. Robert for a $3 super sticker. Thank you so much for that super chat. Really appreciate that.
Paul, I agree. This one is definitely one of the best Hallmark films that's been produced for Christmas, and it does earn 5+ Ben burritos.
And this is where we're introduced to
Ryan Paevey's character now entering the good-looking hunk.
He really is good looking.
This is Nick Pirelli.
Nick Pirelli, yes, is what his
Nick Pirelli. Exactly.
Yeah, I may be an old lady, but I could watch him forever.
You know, he really does. Now, what was the one film that he was in last year? Was it the Timeless Christmas? Timeless Christmas. That was a weak script, but he did a great job in there anyway.
He did.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, he was in a real dog this year with Coyote Creek Christmas.
right.
Oh, and then
All right, so you hear that reference to George Kaplan. George Kaplan was a fictional U.S. secret agent in North by Northwest, that 1959 film, which was filmed at the Plaza.
There you go. See, these are references that I haven't become familiar with, because you know a little bit more about that history than I do, Richard. It's just,
Well, if you know your Hitchcock movie history, there was a couple of movies that Hitchcock where the Plaza plays a minor role in the films. And North by Northwest was one of the films at the Plaza. It plays almost its own character in the film. And George Kaplan is a fictional FBI agent that's in that room number.
And who
So that's
plays
the reference.
Cary Grant?
No, Cary Grant plays a different character.
Okay. And in this scene, we see Jessica being taken by Amanda.
who's played by Julia Duffy.
Yes.
People may remember Julia Duffy from the show Newhart, which ran in the
Newhart. Yeah.
Yeah, ran in the 80s.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Probably
been to the Have you guys been to the Plaza Hotel?
Never.
No, we've been to the Waldorf.
Okay. Now, I've not been into the Oak Room at the Plaza Hotel, but I have been in the bar where they shoot a lot of those scenes.
Oh, that's
nice.
cool.
Yeah, Julia Duffy.
Especially at night when they do at the end when they get together and do the dance. That's in
Yeah.
the bar.
Yeah.
She has not aged nicely.
Sherry says that Julia Duffy isn't aging well. That's a hiss.
I think she's doing pretty well, though. The thing is that I do remember her from Newhart. I loved her character in there. She was such a narcissist that she couldn't see beyond her face. That was it.
Michael, Henry, this is heavy.
I will say that Julia Duffy's character in this film is a little two-dimensional. She's just there to be the protagonist for her to get the job done. But other than that, she really is kind of a throwaway role for her.
There is no depth to her whatsoever. But that's
to be fair though, there are a lot of managers out there who are exactly like her, where all they care about is getting that job done, and doesn't matter how it gets done or who has to do work in order to get that job done. They just want it done so that they can look good. Maybe that's just me.
Well, now, Richard, we have not been to the Plaza, but we have been to the Waldorf Astoria. We actually have a cousin that worked there back in 2008. And she was actually my mom's cousin. She took us up to the presidential suite where we were able to look around. It was very interesting to hear the history of the hotel.
Where mom had to sit on the throne.
Yeah.
That presidents had sat on.
He wanted to make sure she sat on the John that John had sat on.
Well, the Waldorf Astoria in New York is famous for a couple of things. Number one, they were the very first hotel in America to have indoor restrooms in each of the suites. They are also they are also the hotel that invented room service.
Oh, no
Oh,
kidding.
Yes. So room service
That's
was invented at the
fascinating.
Waldorf Astoria Hotel. They are also, of course, the famous hotel that invented the Waldorf salad. So you
Yeah.
could
Yeah,
get
right.
Waldorf
that I
salad
remember.
from there. And the Rob Roy drink was made at the Oak Room, or not the Oak Room. Assume that's a Plaza.
Now that
But the Rob Roy drink was created at the Waldorf Astoria.
that's
Wow.
very interesting. Now I can definitely get behind Ryan Paevey and Allison Sweeney being in a Christmas film together. Definitely, Paul. Our Hallmark savant.
You know what? I agree. That would be a good pair.
Yeah.
What?
Allison Sweeney with Ryan Paevey.
You know, I'm kind of disappointed. I saw an ad for one of the New Year's movies,
Mm-hmm.
and it's with Richard's favorite, um, with
Oh,
Are
Lacey,
you talking about Lacey Chabert?
Lacey Chabert.
Oh, good.
But
No.
But
No.
she is teamed up with Allison Sweeney.
Oh, that's
No.
unfortunate.
well, the thing is,
I know.
it's a
I'm
trilogy.
having a Lacey Chabert free Christmas.
I am hoping that there will be others in that film other than Lacey. Oh, Belisa, welcome to the
Hey,
show. Good to see
No,
you.
it's Lacey and
This right
Allison.
here is a beautiful music cue going from the Plaza Hotel to her home.
Oh yeah, definitely.
and you know what? I like the way they're carrying in a fake tree, making it look like it's real. Have you noticed?
Oh,
I
I had
haven't
not
no-
noticed that.
I had not noticed that. That's a great observation.
I think it's a balsam hill that they're carrying in. I
Well,
always found that amusing.
And you usually don't carry it in
Nope.
top first.
Nope. Always bottom first.
Boy,
but they
that
tied
is a
it up.
big tree.
It's tied up with rope like it's a real tree. It's a fake tree.
But it falls like a real one.
So, for those of you that have joined, we are watching off screen Christmas at the Plaza and making comments about the film, observations that we have seen over the last couple of years of this film being on Hallmark. We actually own the film, but we watch it 2, 3, 4 times a year.
But mainly, we're trying to just hang out, have fun, and enjoy each other's company and share some happiness on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Well,
Alyssa too. It's mainly because all of us are now off of work for the season, and we can enjoy time off.
Yes. And I've been
And we can
working really hard.
commiserate on our Disneyland trip.
Exactly. And
Mm.
That Sherry won't be joining us on. What?
That's unfortunate. But you know what? She's having a wonderful Christmas away from here. She's going to be up in the Sacramento Valley with her kids in their new home up in that area. And
All right, so right here in the film where they're sitting, I've actually sat right there at the bar.
oh,
now,
So
how
it's
long ago
interesting.
did you go there?
This was about 3 years ago when I was there.
Okay, so they might have sat in your discernible butt print.
Pretty much, yes. They sat where the Orlando guy sat.
so, by the way, in case you're wondering, the tree behind me is spinning. That is a slow spin. That's the mouse head tree here in the studio. About 700 ornaments on that tree. It's lit with about 700 lights too.
By the way, Juan brings up a point here, and that is he's watching Sherry wrap presents and getting tips.
Really?
No, Sherry, that could be a good stream. That could be a good show for you. A good.
Actually, yeah.
Well, give tips. We'll do that sometime for like craft time. You can show how to wrap a present properly.
Yeah. and how to make a bow displayed very well on a present. Why didn't we think of that earlier?
There's a lot of things we didn't think about earlier.
Well, the fact that we do feature Christmas for 2 months out of the year every year.
Simba 2, no. The film is not on Hallmark right now. We are watching copies that we own as part of our digital libraries. So we decided we all hit play at the same time, and we are watching and commenting on the film.
Yeah, like right now.
We decided we would just get.
Yeah.
We just decided we would get together and watch this film as a pre-Disneyland kind of celebration. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, we were going to be headed to Disneyland very soon.
Yeah, in fact, 1 week from tonight, we will be anticipating New Year's Eve the following day. And we will ring in the new year in the center of the park in front of the castle. Which could not be more fun.
And that I am not going to miss.
Yeah.
I will be sitting here
in front of the castle.
No, my butt will be sitting on my couch.
Talk about discernible butt print.
But we're not going to be standing with the proletariat. Let's just say that.
I mean, right now, let's see. We have 2 days. Santa's flying overhead, says 2 days until Christmas.
Oh my gosh. This doesn't seem possible because we've been working on this for the last 3 months.
Okay, so this is the scene where she's thinking about quitting. I want you to see just how well Mr. Davison plays this scene.
Okay.
You want to turn it up a tad, you think?
Yeah, let's we're going to mute our end for just a little bit so we can see what's going on.
Okay. And Ben has muted himself right now if they want to watch what's happening here in the film. And since we can't have the audio of the film playing, copyright issues, we have to make sure it's muted.
So what I was trying to point out in that particular scene is I'm a huge fan of character-driven films. I'm not one of those guys that are into the superhero films and comic book films and that kind of thing. I love character-driven films. What I love about that scene is the way he just lets the scene breathe. He doesn't rush his lines. He's just like, well, I think you should reconsider. And then there's this long pause, and he's like, well, I'm sure you'll make the right decision.
Yeah.
It's just a beautifully acted scene.
And because that's actually his character. He's just very concerned, always making sure that he does what's best for his guests, the people that work with him, as well as for the hotel itself.
Yeah, I agree. Now, they were standing there in front of the big tree in the lobby, and it reminds me of the big tree in the lobby of the Claremont Hotel in the Berkeley Hills. If anyone has been in Northern California and been to the Claremont Resort, that tree reminds me of the same tree at the Claremont.
It does.
It's stunning.
It is a stunning.
It is beautiful. But the only thing I think of when I think of the Claremont is our brother Ron running around the Claremont and writing down the laundry chutes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is a pivotal scene in the movie. She is sitting and admiring Finial Dabra, which is what she finds out that's what it's called.
It's a fancy tree topper, French. But she had been considering leaving the project because she didn't know the direction of where to take the project. But this little twist in the story gives her a point of view for the whole presentation that she's supposed to be developing for the history of Christmas at the Plaza. So they base it on the Finial Dabra. Year after year, they have a different Finial Dabra.
Right. She didn't have a Christmas story, is what she called it before,
Right.
and now she has the storyline.
And it's actually a very clever storyline.
Well, I like
Okay,
the
so
fact
this
that
little scene right here, we just missed it. You probably just missed it. Kenny, is their name? His name's Kenny, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. He mentions Miss Thompson having pink champagne sent up to her room, and that's a reference to Kay Thompson, who wrote Eloise at the Plaza. And her room, as if you've ever watched the movie Eloise at the Plaza, she has her room decorated in pink.
I did not know that.
But good night, Paul. Good night, Bill, Lisa. Yeah, we're just hanging out here. We're having fun watching Christmas at the Plaza. Paul,
Yeah.
get some rest. Merry Christmas. And the same to you, Bill, Lisa. Merry Christmas.
We're just having fun hanging out.
For those of you watching this film, please share it on your social media. Thank you.
Okay. I'll just stay at my post here.
Oh, Michelle, look at that. She's watching A Christmas Love Story with Kristen Chenoweth. I do like Kristen Chenoweth.
She gets on my nerves sometimes with her whiny voice.
I can understand that. Okay, so how many gifts have you gone through?
4.
4 already?
Yeah.
Wow.
She doesn't.
Sherry does not mess around. Her crafting skills dovetail beautifully into the whole idea of wrapping gifts and making them look presentable. Hey, Mike Wheeler.
Hello, Mike.
We're just having fun hanging out here. I'm drinking some sparkling wine. Sherry's wrapping presents, and Arnie and Richard are watching Christmas at the Plaza. Actually, we're all watching Christmas at the Plaza. We have it on mute here on our big TV here in the living room, but we're here in my dining room just enjoying the season.
You know, the music for this film, you guys will probably get this reference. It's very much an Alan Silvestri type score.
Yes, absolutely.
It reminds me of like Romancing the Stone a little bit. If you guys recall the love theme to Romancing the Stone, it has it has an Alan Silvestri kind of Silvestri-esque.
It does.
Wasn't Alan Silvestri responsible for the soundtrack to Back to the Future?
Correct.
He was.
Yeah, because he and Bob Zemeckis worked on quite a few films together.
Yes.
Not the least of which was Romancing the Stone and the Back to the Future trilogy.
What is this?
So, are you? What do you sample?
It's a cinnamon stick
that was put in a gift card bag.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
Well, now your gift card's going to smell of cinnamon.
Where'd you get the gift card? Was it given to you?
This is when she is actually
okay from Oaktown. Oaktown Spice.
Ben, this is the point in the film when she is actually verbalizing her interest in the cultural importance of what she is doing. Which, I mean, I'll tell you, if I had a collection of 100 finial Dabras, I would want it on display all the time.
Yeah. Hi, Deborah. Welcome. How many presents do we have to wrap?
Too many.
Richard,
well, not as many as we had in the past.
That's true.
This year, we really pulled way back on presents. So we have not nearly as many to wrap this year as we have in the past. There's an episode of 30 Rock where Jack Donaghy is asked about Christmas. And as a kid, his mother got them so many presents, you couldn't even see the tree. That's what it was kind of like in our house about 5 years ago. And that's when we said, you know what? Enough is enough. We can't have this anymore. So we've pulled way back.
Well, we've also had more people join the family.
That's true. The family does continue to grow.
That's not.
Ron's favorite movie is Eyes Wide Shut. His favorite Christmas movie is Eyes Wide Shut, a Christmas movie.
Well, maybe some people think that's the same as they think of Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Well, it's like Moonstruck could be referenced as a Christmas movie because you see Christmas decorations all around them, but they make no reference to it. Oh, see, I love how they bring in Bruce Davison's character in this scene and how he can reference the fine tuning of the Christmas decorations. It's kind of foreshadowing of his expertise coming out later on.
That's a
Yeah, this is. I mean, honestly, this is a beautifully written film,
It really is.
they cover
and none of these plot twists seems like forced or contrived or just
No.
put in for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything just
Yeah.
fits nicely in this film.
The only weak link that I would even consider it as a weak link would be her friend who is the elf, but she kind of brings content. She kind of bridges scenes together.
Okay,
so
so you unmute yourself or mute yourself because you were coming up to the music cue that I'm talking about here. So the
Okay.
transition from this scene to her home, if you're watching, is the music cue that just to me it just reminds me so much of Alan Silvestri.
okay. This is
All right, so here it starts right here. The music cue just started. That is, I love that transition music right there.
I'm a big fan of light percussion with woodwinds.
And then of course she's in her home and she's listening to Christmas jazz, and then it just puts it over the top.
Yeah.
Yep. Who composed the music for this film?
I've got to look him up because he needs to be used a lot more for Hallmark films.
I agree. A lot of their films are so.
But did that not remind you of Romancing the Stone?
Yes.
Just that.
It's a nice little riff. Now, this character, her boyfriend,
He is such a weenie.
he's a weenie because he's so concerned about himself. You can tell throughout the whole film that he is more concerned about himself than he is about her. Everything that he's doing is about him. It has nothing to do with her.
Yeah, there's several Hallmark movies where the boyfriend is that way.
But that just irritates me because there are people in life like that, and it just irritates me.
Doug.
Jerry, one wants to get a glue gun, I guess, for decorative bows.
A glue gun for what?
You don't need a glue gun for decorative bows, Juan.
No, absolutely not.
Jerry can show you how to do bows properly with just the ribbon itself and a couple of things, a little wire.
And Mary Ellen, you're absolutely right. He is a narcissist.
He is.
Okay, now coming up here is probably my favorite shot scene in this film, where he goes to go get the decoration that Nick gave her earlier, but just the shot here of her looking into the ornament and her pulling the thing off the tree next to it. That's such a beautifully shot scene.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you, Ben. That is a wonderfully framed
just both
shot.
put together.
See, I have a brooch that size, but I have never worn it.
You could have broached that size. It's half the size of you.
I've got one that size. It's not Christmas, but
Oh, and here are all the academics who poo-poo on the idea of Christmas being historically important.
Oh, not just poo poo. They are just downright condescending.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 1980s, you know, country club scene, foo-foo people scene.
Yeah, this is my Jessica Cooper.
Exactly. This is my Jessica Cooper.
It's just kind of rude.
Sherry.
yeah.
AAA Sparkle says, "Hi PTV, love this movie, and Ryan Paevey is dreamy."
I wouldn't use that term, but yes, Ryan Paevey is rather a good-looking guy, and he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him dreamy.
Is that mine,
Personal.
Jerry?
Oh,
Okay.
of course it is, dear. There's that condescension. And then he asks her, "Why did you have to talk about that?" He was obviously an embarrassment.
I don't know.
There's the food. You still can't get to the food.
Christmas decorations thing. Really?
Yeah. Doesn't sound very academic.
All right, so while we're on this scene here, let's talk a little about Disney, because part of this is we're celebrating the fact that we're going to be in Disney next week. What are you looking most forward to enjoying from a culinary standpoint down the trip?
From a culinary standpoint, so many things. I really do enjoy the flavors of the season. There is the food festival that's going on at California Adventures, so each booth will give you a little tapas size sampling of foods. So you can sample the cuisine of California. I'm also looking forward to just getting a chocolate dipped ice cream from Cozy Cone Motel in Carsland. Trashily delicious.
I'm looking forward to popcorn. I love their popcorn. I
would tend to agree with you there, Ben. I do miss that Orville Redenbacher is not the official popcorn of Disney anymore. Now it's top secret, but there's nothing like getting fresh Disney popcorn.
Oh my gosh! Right at the little popcorn cart
and a Diet Coke.
And a Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, absolutely. World's most expensive Diet Coke, but still delicious. I wouldn't. How much is a Diet Coke there?
I think they're down up to $5, $5.50 now a bottle. But over at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen, they have about 5 different Christmas-themed beignets that we have to try. When we get there.
Can you imagine doing a beignet flight?
Yes.
There's like 5 different ones. One's like an eggnog version. One's candy cane. I can't remember. I just saw this, but there's like 5 different beignets holiday beignets that we can get at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen at Downtown Disney.
Yeah.
We're doing that.
Juan just mentioned that there's a deconstructed pork tamale in DCA.
A deconstructed tamale?
Yeah. And then he says that the Hollywood Lounge at DCA has a coconut lime margarita, which is OMG so good. It's tequila, lime, coconut, water, cream, and shaped coconut. Ben, I know you wouldn't be a fan, but me, I'm definitely willing to try that.
Is this big enough?
We'll find out.
Here he is again. Reginald's coming in again.
I love that every scene that he's in is a brilliant scene.
Right?
You're going to have to turn it the other way. And put that crap. Okay, if you want to cut that in, I can always cut it over here too.
You know, Richard, Lori Jean's mentioning that it's raining now. We are in a weather pattern down in California. It is just on and off every day through at least Christmas.
It was a little cool here today. I think we were down to the 60s. Ooh,
Oh, dear
sweater
Lord.
weather.
Crank up a parka.
Yeah, pull out
Florida's
those
in the
puffy jackets.
60s.
If it gets down to like 68, I'm like in a parka.
It was 50. It's three over.
3 over.
It was
It was
50 something.
50 something here, and I took my socks off and had my sandals on.
Best tool ever. These little razor blades in the plastic things where you can just use the guidelines on the back of wrapping paper to cut. Best ever.
They are good.
One, I am helping Sherry. Okay, so they're in the Italian restaurant now. And this is like quintessential New York. This is such an old classic restaurant look for New York.
Don't you just imagine Goodfellas?
I imagine a lot of cigar smoke swirling above them. Or is that just me?
No, it's very much a Mad Men kind of restaurant there. Hey, little girl, put your hair, whatever that song is.
You are absolutely right about that, Richard. Clinical research sounds very interesting, doesn't it?
Okay, so
Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, the train is running at Disneyland, right? That's not down like at Disney World.
No, it is running.
Magic Kingdom.
It is definitely running.
Thank God the train is running somewhere.
the train at Disney World is down because they're still constructing Tron.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they've been testing it the last couple of weeks. They haven't had anybody on it, but they have been running it on occasion around the park.
That
okay.
day when Disneyland reopened, we were standing there in the plaza, and the train came in. You heard the whistle and the bell ringing, and people were openly sobbing.
Well, that's such an iconic sound for Disneyland.
Yeah,
That's going to be me next week because I have not been in Disneyland in over 2 years. The last time I went was with Arnie, Sherry, and Doug, and we had a wonderful time. But we had no idea.
We did?
Yeah. We had no idea that the park was going to shut down for over a year when we were there.
When was that?
Remember, you were there for. You were there.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys have a favorite? You guys have a favorite place in the park that you like to hang out at?
My favorite place used to be in New Orleans Square, behind the Disney Gallery, in this open area that was meant as an open patio for Lillian before Walt passed away, and now it's no longer accessible to the public. But,
That's right. That was the Court of Angels was at, right?
Yeah, it's very close to the Court of Angels.
Yeah, that was a beautiful place where you can hang out. Now they've closed that up to what, Club 33 only?
The Court of Angels is now part of Club 33. Yes.
Right. Okay. Right. My favorite place is actually in New Orleans Square as well. It's the little plaza where the fountain is at, which is near the train station and Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
we were actually resting there one time right by the train station. I was there with Doug and Doug's parents, and we were just sitting there along one of the brick walls, and a VIP host of Disneyland walked by, and right behind the host was Paul McCartney. And Paul McCartney gave us a wink as he walked by. So that's probably the closest brush with greatness at Disneyland that I've had.
Well, that and being about 10 feet away from Meg Ryan back in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, you also had Cloris Leachman give you a hug.
That's right. I did have Cloris Leachman hug me.
Oh, lucky you.
I know.
Yeah.
This was back at the opening of A Bug's Land for California Adventure. It was the first land expansion for California Adventure, and it was put together quickly so that they could have attractions there for the kiddos. And they laid out this large green carpet up the road right into A Bug's Land. And those of us who were guests got to line the carpet on standing behind the stanchions.
Ben, here's question mark.
Oh, yeah. This is your problem, Jessica. You need to fix
We can't have a gap in our Christmas timeline.
It makes us look incompetent.
Watch me.
This thing is your problem.
You need to fix it.
like she could fix the fact that there was no tree topper that year. You need to go back and fix it.
Now, in 1969, mind you, that's 50 years earlier from when this film was made. The film was set in 2019.
Okay, so going back to my story, they had all these B and C list celebrities going into the premiere, which is what they used to do back in the day for the opening of attractions at Disneyland. Anyone that they could get from the Disney Channel or whoever they could get. But Cloris Leachman was among the guests, and I saw her coming up, and I yelled at her, and she came over to me, gave me this big old hug, and told her entourage, "Go on ahead, I'll join you later."
I guess that's Lothar, right?
That is Lothar, Mr.
Hey,
Barrowland.
Lothar. Merry Christmas.
And then there was the time that Mom yelled.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we were at Legoland as a family way about 15 years ago or so, and we were in line for one of the rides there, and someone got backdoored onto the attraction just in front of us. It happened to be Doris Roberts, who at the time was playing Marie Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond of the CBS sitcom. So
can we all just agree that nobody really loved Raymond ever? No one loved him. I mean, what has he done since that television show? I mean,
Nothing.
Welcome to Moosehead. What was that movie that he had that was terrible?
he did a
I think
series,
he did a show on TNT for a couple of seasons.
but it was of nothing of consequence.
Nobody loved Ray Romano. Nobody.
I think
Well-
CBS did because he brought in a lot of money for advertising.
Oh yeah, at the time the show went off the air, he was the #1 sitcom on television.
Yeah, well, we can debate. We can debate
that's
the quality of
over.
television at the time that he was on.
You also have to remember that when you talk about the #1 sitcom on television, that honor has been held by shows like Home Improvement
Mhm.
and Vern and Shirley. I mean, come on, really?
It really was the end of traditional sitcom television.
Yeah, that
era.
3 or 4 camera with a live audience. Those shows just aren't done anymore.
Okay, this is gonna
I
be
still
weird.
contend nobody loved him.
Well, anyway, we're standing in line at Legoland. Doris Roberts gets backdoored onto this attraction in front of us, and my mom yells out, "Hey, where's Raymond?" All of us are looking the other way. It's like, oh my gosh, Mom, just shut up.
Okay, how am I gonna do this?
This is okay.
This is
hold
a
on.
great scene.
Look at this package. How do you wrap this?
Sherry knows.
I'm going to tackle it right now.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, Sherry will be able to do it.
Is this for your grandson?
Yeah.
Very true, Lothar.
Now, do you guys like chestnuts, roasted chestnuts?
I've had chestnuts once, and I did like them.
Where did you
All
have
right, so
them?
There's a little park south of us. It used to be called Bonfante Gardens. It's now called Gilroy Gardens. It's owned by Cedar Fair. And we did a winter carnival kind of celebration there. They actually had roasted chestnuts for sale right there for our party that night. It was fun, and they were good.
this is where they find out that Reginald was the guy.
Yeah.
It takes
Uncle
them a little.
Reggie?
Uncle Reggie.
All right, so the very first time I had roasted chestnuts was at Walt Disney World at the Grand Floridian. There used to be a porter that was there. His name was Richard. He was there for 30-something years.
Oh my gosh.
He was the front door porter there. He died probably about 2 or 3 years ago. He was up there. But he would give out he would actually stand out there and roast chestnuts when you walked into the Grand Floridian. And that was the very first time I'd ever had roasted chestnuts. I loved it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Are they good?
Very good.
Well, because I have to be on this side for the computer.
I've never had
That's
roasted
fair.
chestnut. When Arnie went to Bonfante Gardens, I didn't go with him. And I haven't been in front of the doorman at the Grand Floridian ever. So, I mean, I've never had roasted chestnuts.
They're good.
When have you had them?
I had them in San Francisco one year for Christmas.
Huh?
I thought you
Not
had.
lychee nuts?
No, Ben.
Yeah, the song talks about lychee nuts in San Francisco.
Yeah, the
Christmas in San Francisco.
one of the worst songs ever written.
Well, that's like my book. It was the night before Christmas
In California?
No, in San Francisco.
In San Francisco,
I think
okay.
it was in San Francisco.
Okay, this is a very. Why? Is there a reason why you're not cutting it yet?
Yes, there is.
This
Are you
is
going to fold it over?
this is the one time when Reginald is actually very forceful with his character and says, "No, I can't do that."
Yeah, it was very out of character for him because you have grown to accept that he can do just about anything for
I
you
don't-
because he is the head bellman.
I don't think it was out of character. It was him not wanting people into his personal life about that. He didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I love that his company is called St. Nick's. Nick Pirelli.
Oh, this thing's dying. It's clicking. We have 2 scans dying on us.
We're going to have to do some sort of research over the next few months to figure out how to replace your stands.
Yeah.
This literally is clicking and gagging and.
Okay,
God, I hate her. She's such a bully. No,
Hey,
seriously,
earlier-
a bully. I've been bullied a lot, so I know what a bully is, and she's nasty.
Who
Yeah,
Amanda?
from Newhart chick. I don't like her. I don't like her character. I like her.
Well, we did discuss earlier, since you weren't here, because you would rather wash dishes, that her character is kind of two-dimensional. We would agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so right at the end of that scene, you saw Reggie come out from behind the tree. So he was listening to that conversation. So you can tell that he's really invested in Jessica and wanting her to succeed, but he's not quite ready to go back to that era of him creating Christmas ornaments.
It opens old wounds going back 50 years. I mean, this is a very private part of his life.
Yeah, old wounds can hurt. We all have them. One thing I wanted to show or bring to light. When Jessica meets Nick the first time, have you ever noticed that when he's coming down the ladder face forward? off the ladder, like from 4 or 5 steps above? Who does that?
Somebody who does it all the time.
Someone that does it spends all their time on ladders.
That's just crazy.
We're getting too old to be put on ladders, so we got a new step.
Thank you. Thank you, Doug.
But
Okay.
So Richard, when was the last time you were at Disneyland?
That's a good question.
Wow. Let's see. I would say probably 2010.
Oh my gosh. So you've never seen the complete redone California Adventure?
No, I haven't seen. When I the last time I seen, they still had the sun wheel in the front. Not the sun wheel. What do they call it? The
Well,
The reflecting
sun wheel, and it was Mickey.
not the sun wheel, but in the front where they had the golden thing that would shine at you.
Big
Remember
sun that was there in Sunshine
Yeah,
Plaza.
right. Sunshine.
I haven't
that was
seen the whole thing being ripped out, that whole area being demolished.
I haven't seen them put in the new trolley car. I haven't seen.
Buena Vista Street.
Oh, Richard, you're in for a treat. We're going to have some fun showing you around.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. The last time I was there, they were doing electronica. Remember they had that dance thing called when Tron had first come out?
Yes.
Electronica.
Yeah.
So it's been that long since I've been there.
That's right.
They were using electronica as a holding area to distract people between or before the second showing of World of Color, because World of Color was so huge at that time.
Did they change that show? Because the original World of Color was amazing.
They did change it.
Changed through times, yes.
Yeah, it's changed several times, but the thing is, right now, I don't know that it's showing yet. I don't think it's coming back until early next year.
If you got and read the thing last week, they're talking about the 50th anniversary of Electrical Light Parade. They're going to do a whole media blitz on the 50th anniversary of that. And then they're going to bring back World of Color. And they're going to do a new fireworks show. And Phantasmic is coming back. So it's huge entertainment.
Don't get me started on Phantasmic.
It's only the best thing.
Phantasmic is sacred to me. I was there for the original Phantasmic.
We love
You and my son. He will. Oh no.
No,
The original Bruce. Now see here, I'm a stickler about this. This is the original Bruce Healy soundtrack for Phantasmic.
Yes.
When they had remember when they used to have the Ursula balloon
Yes.
that would go around, and they had Flotsam and Jetsam
On the little on jet skis.
Correct. And the old dragon that would breathe the fire down, that would just appear seemingly out of nowhere when all the fog lifted. I mean, it was a great show. When they redid it and they made it more digital, it took a little bit away of the I don't know, the charm of that show.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Okay, Carol in Wonderland is marveling at the fact that you're wrapping presents on camera.
Why?
She's good at it, Carol.
Yeah, she's good at everything she does.
Is that for grandchild or granddaughter?
Grandson.
And there's a foreshadow right here.
He does it for
does
love.
For money, some jobs he does for love. And for those that he does for love, he always puts a star.
Oh, gag me.
And you will see that later in the film.
I mean,
like that,
there are so many beautiful story arcs in this film that they tie up, but none of it seems rushed.
No,
it's all done
well paced.
perfectly timed. Very well paced.
This is a really difficult box.
Okay.
To
Where
Now tell me if you think that his dad or the husband doesn't look like Fred Willard. Wait till he comes in. He looks like Fred Willard in Best in Show.
Do you remember Fred Willard in America Tonight and Fernwood Tonight?
Fernwood Tonight, yes.
Oh my gosh, that was such a funny show.
Be Kind in the Mirth Makers, played by Frank Duvall.
Yep. Okay, how do you wash a sweater with tinsel on it?
You don't.
You don't.
Just spot clean it and you don't sweat.
How is it possible to not sweat in a sweater
Well,
in a room full of people and lights.
you wear a shirt underneath it, and you just kind of. Those will only be worn for like an hour or two. They're not meant for like all day or work in. They're just meant for a quick decor.
Yeah, I was wearing my Stitch Melikilikimaka sweater at work.
I will say that this kitchen she has does not match the exterior of her house.
No.
No, it does not.
My sweater has lights on it, and people were asking me, "How do you wash this?" I says, "Well, I've only worn it a couple of times, and I've always got a shirt on underneath the sweater, so I haven't had to necessarily wash the sweater just yet."
But there are directions on how to do it. So
There are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. I learned something new, and of course, it came from Sherry. Oh, Sherry helped me put together.
Enter Fred Willard.
Here he is.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Does he not look like Best in Show Fred Willard?
Yes, he does.
Or maybe even Modern Family Fred Willard. And the fact that he can't sing at all is just astonishing.
What happened?
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Of course, they're handing it to Jessica, who has never been in their house before. What now? What? This is a really interesting package, Sherry.
this is the family really pushing a matchmaking kind of thing.
Okay, Sherry's wrapping a really odd-looking box, an oddly shaped box, and she's making it work.
Of course she is. That echo.
Right?
Yeah. There's a little echo coming through one of the microphones. Not sure which one it is. Yeah. Okay, there.
Okay, so now she's gonna talk to her son, and he's accusing her of setting them up. Like, you know what? He's already setting himself up. She's nothing. She has nothing to do with it.
a lot of moms do that, though, Ben.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
No, you did not.
Kids' lives like that.
I did.
Okay, this is the weirdest shaped box.
But yet it's wrapped.
What's the garland on the window?
And she's absolutely right. Carol says Sherry is killing it. She makes it look effortless.
Carol, it's a lot better than what my older brother Ron did once.
There it is.
Oh my goodness.
He once wrapped a present where the paper was
Christmas Eve, right before you were going to open
it was
it.
practically falling off the package, and there was just like a strip of ribbon taped to the front. It didn't even go around the package.
And he said, "Here, Ben, open it before it falls apart."
I remember that.
Okay, we need a tag.
Yep.
What is the
Here.
names on
Arnie,
Yeah, there's a
present
The ornaments up there of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Arnie,
Yeah.
present us, please.
Oh, I will do that. Oh, Jonathan, hello there.
Is this a Lego set?
Yes, it is. But I mean, look at this weird box.
And yet it's wrapped beautifully.
I didn't think Lego made weird sets.
It's. But I mean, look at this weird box. It's like something that would have been developed by MC Escher.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, that's that package. Something that would have been developed by MC Escher.
There is an echo there.
That was a really bad
Yeah,
one.
what's going on?
I think it's a little bleed coming through. I think it's Richard's microphone.
Is it me?
think
Yeah,
so.
you're failing.
No, he's not failing. I think there's a little bleed coming through my. Something about the
Is
plate.
it? Yeah. Is it the movie coming through? Or is it
No,
your
it's not
voice?
the movie. I think it's us, the playback of our voices.
How's that? Oh,
Still
how's that?
No.
still coming through a bit. Oh,
All right, now what?
Okay.
Oh, there we
Nick
go.
here and Jonathan has joined. We're watching Christmas at the Plaza. We're watching it just on our little devices here. We have digital files of it, so we're all three of us are watching it. Well, actually, five of us are watching it together,
Yes, we are.
and we're just making comments about the film as it goes along, but also discussing our upcoming Disneyland trip that we're going to be experiencing next week, and we're very excited about it.
Jonathan, this is a
Sorry,
Hallmark film
Arnie.
that
It was
we're
my
watching.
cell phone that was bleeding through.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so Jonathan, this is a Hallmark film that we're watching on our own, but all three parties here that are watching it, Arnie's house, my house, and Richard's house, we've all purchased this movie and we're watching it through our so-called devices, which are our devices of choice.
And yes, the storyline is a Hallmark. The Christmas at the Plaza starring Elizabeth Etheridge. Hestridge.
And I have to admit, I wasn't unaware of this film until Ben and Arnie and Doug introduced me to it.
Yeah,
Now it's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
it's really well done. Okay, and this is where Reggie finally tips and he feels like he needs to reopen that wound and go back to the past.
No, didn't he work on Love Boat?
Bruce Davison?
Or the old man?
He may have done some guest work on Love Boat. That is possible.
We'll have to do some research. I love that scene where he just opens up the umbrella and pops it up and says, "Oh, look, it's Uncle Reggie."
This is I love the way Bruce Davison plays his character. Even you're gonna laugh at me, but even when he's down at the bench, and he says, "Do me a favor, crank up some Christmas carols and brew up a pot of coffee and let me be for whatever." He just the way he delivers that line is so beautiful.
It's very casual yet purposeful. Huh. It's still padlocked.
And this is what, the 63 or the 60 something? She's only missing one.
Yeah. He's opening the doorway to the past.
Yeah.
Remember, this is the one. This is the finial where Amanda says, "Jessica, this is your problem.
Yeah, she's
You
the
have to
boy.
fix it."
Yeah, like she can fix it and just pull it out of her butt.
Now, I would love a wood box like that to store some of my ornaments.
You have 50 totes. That's enough.
You've not
Actually,
noticed this huge box underneath your desk for 50 years?
How long has it been there?
Well, even if you
Here
pull
it
it
is.
out.
Okay, can I get some?
Let me be for a couple hours. That is an artist.
It is warm in here.
It is warm in here.
Carol said you should be doing voiceovers. Carol, Richard, the Orlando guy, does some beautiful work on his channel. If you've not subscribed to the Orlando guy, please do so. You will love his content. It's just fantastic stuff. And he does all his own voiceover work on his channel. And it's probably some of the most professional stuff out there, voice-wise.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténgase alejado de las... I can't even say it anymore. Alejandro de las
De las
puertas.
puertas.
Remain seated, please.
Remain seated, please.
Por favor.
I have to tell you, Richard, we had some friends over last night, and he had recorded the opening music from Pete.
The groovy music.
The groovy music.
He had actually pulled it up on Spotify or something.
And he forgot to start playing it when he walked in the door, but they walked in the door and said, "Hi, I'm Carolyn. Hi, I'm Phil." And then he said, "We've got a more crap delivery here," because they got here just as a box had come in from Target.
Let's see, 2.
Look at that, Richard. Carol says you could be the voice of God.
Who says I'm not? Okay, so now here's the scene where he spilled cocoa on her.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And
He pulls out the handkerchief
She pulls out the same
that
hanky.
Reginald gave her at the first 5 minutes of the film.
Oh,
See,
very.
there's just so many different little details like this that just make this film what it is.
And there it is. Who bought the tickets? This is a great scene.
Mumsies and daddies.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
This isn't the pen that I brought down.
Sherry, I'm still amazed at that wrapping job, Sherry.
That's the pen that I grabbed from over there.
I'm losing my.
Sherry's losing her mind over here.
I am.
That happens to me all the time.
Well, I've had a headache all day, and I've been trying to get things done, and it just.
When you racing off tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, like at 9, 8, 5, 7?
Between 8 and 9.
Okay.
We've been told we have to be there for lunch, so.
Yeah, AAA Sparkles, we do agree too. His voice is awesome.
I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate it.
And this is where he's
Which way does
questioning
Sarah
whether
go
he
with these
wants to
things?
break up. Which, considering where they are in their relationship, it has pretty much stagnated.
I did it right on that.
Sherry was trying to figure out the Amazon logo with the smile.
Does it go up? Does it go
I
down?
like the way that they don't make him a complete idiot.
Yeah.
They let him, they send him off. He's no longer in the film, but it wasn't, a maudlin kind of morose scene where he just kind of get out of here. It just didn't work out. I'm moving on. Bye.
Yep.
I'm trying to
Eric,
remember what
the-
movie I just recently saw.
Remember, that's not just a smile on the Amazon logo. That's an arrow that points from A to Z, meaning they have everything.
All right, so you just missed it in this film here when she walks back in and these people are taking pictures of the tree. This little girl right there in the front, she has a book in her hands, and it's a biography of Kay Thompson. She is the author of Eloise at the Plaza.
Oh, that's a good detail. I know who it's from.
And what cracks me up is that particular one isn't as beautiful as a lot of the other ones,
No.
or as detailed.
What's that?
The topper.
Oh.
The
He
video.
just painted some glitter on it, and I could do that.
But he's giving
Wow.
the whole story.
She's harshing on Reginald.
Good ladies.
I love this. I love this scene right here because they bring back the slogan of the hotel.
Yeah. Nothing unimportant ever happens at the Plaza.
And when's the last time you were there at the Plaza, Richard?
3 years ago.
We drove by where we were on the tour by
Yeah, we were on
2008.
we were on the tour in 2008. We went to the Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah, we went to Waldorf Astoria and to the presidential suite.
Is it right next to Bergdorf's?
What, Ben?
Is it next to Bergdorf's?
The Plaza?
Yeah, the department store.
Fifth, and it's right there at the corner of Central Park on Fifth Avenue. Right across the street is the Apple Store.
That's right.
I love that line.
Yep. And another well shot scene.
I love the fact that he allows her. They allow her to repeat the line.
Yeah.
In a reflection.
Right. So to answer your question, Doug, I was at the Plaza 3 years ago. I had flown to New York. I wanted to see Ellis Marcellus. He's the father of Wynton Marsalis and his brother. He was celebrating his birthday at Jazz at Lincoln Center. So I went to that concert. As an aside, he passed away a couple of months after that. So I was one of the last people to see him in concert. And it was a wonderful concert, jazz concert.
He died of COVID complications, right?
No.
Wynton Marsalis's dad?
Did he?
I think so.
Ellis Marcellus, I believe, died before COVID.
Okay, so who?
Who are you thinking of?
I thought it was his dad. Let me see.
So I was there at Jazz at Lincoln Center for his. I think it was turning 84 or 85. I can't remember exactly, but it was actually his birthday, and Wynton and Bradford was in the audience watching his dad and his combo playing.
That's cool.
Wow. Okay, is this after she saw that girl advance on Nick? I kind of missed that scene.
Yes. This is the scene after the former girlfriend, Alicia, or whatever her name is.
He did, Richard. He died April 1st.
Okay, he did. So I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
2020? He died in 2020?
Yeah.
Okay. So it would have been October of November of 2019 when I was at the Plaza.
Oh, wow. So you were there just after
prior to everything shutting down. Yeah. It's in my mind, it was like the year before that, but apparently I'm wrong.
Well, 2020 was such a long year. I mean, in a lot of people's eyes, 2020 is still going.
Yeah, it is.
I'm afraid of for next week. I'm thinking positive, though.
Yeah.
Afraid of what, Doug?
Just what I'm hearing of Orange County and just some of the stuff that I'm hearing about Disneyland. I mean, I'm triple and I'm okay, but what we're going to be doing, we should be fine. But my big thing is on the 31st, I don't want crappy weather and I want nothing to happen. Other than that, I don't care.
It doesn't look like you're going to have bad weather on the 31st. Right now, anyway.
Yeah, that's my only big thing is I want all the cooties to on hold until after the 31st, and then I want no bad weather until after the 31st, and after that, I don't care.
Harold, Doug has actually referred to this as the 24th month of 2020.
Yeah, this is the 24th month of 2020. I mean, I had some good things happen in 21, but overall, I just feel like it's just a carryover. It's the decade.
Well, until they get a handle on everything on a global scape, it's just going to continue.
Yeah. I like that.
What happened?
This. She's talking about the scene, the decorating, and the history. Yeah.
Even her speech wasn't your typical Hallmark speech.
No, it wasn't. Bits of being heartfelt, but yet not like you.
So
put
to answer Carol's question about everything, in January, I'm actually going to be meeting with one of the voice talent buyers for Hallmark, and I will be officially submitting a demo to become the voice of Hallmark.
That'd be cool.
Good for you.
I'm very hopeful for that. Very hopeful.
So it's possible. It's not plausible, but it's possible that by this time next year, you'll be hearing my voice saying, "Countdown to Christmas, only on Hallmark."
And then you're going to have to say those names that you love so much.
Oh no! I don't think the voiceover says Lacey Chabert, Danica McKellar.
Lacey Chabert and Ryan Paevey in Another Gross Christmas, next on Hallmark.
Coming up next. There's Marie.
I love this little scene that they have.
It's just a short little scene that just kind of it gives closure to his story arc.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
And you don't really know what happens after this, but you don't have to.
No.
The fact that they reconnected is all that matters.
That's the way it is every year. Sherry's talking about how she's finding more and more stuff to wrap. And I'm thinking, that's what we do every year.
Get cool for everybody's stocking and get over it.
Oh, dear Lord, Doug.
I love it. Sherry tosses another oddly shaped present wrapped to perfection under the tree. Hey, Richard, look at that. Juan's making pozole.
Ah, pozole. I really don't claim to be, a member of the Desert Southwest anymore. I don't have any desire to live there again, but I will say I do miss some of the food.
The food is outstanding.
Buñuelos.
Christmas to me, when you grow up in the Desert Southwest, Christmas is tamales and pozole and biscuititos.
And then
those are tastes that are just a part of the season when you live in the Desert Southwest.
Absolutely.
And I keep saying Desert Southwest because I don't even want to mention the city I was living in.
Another one you have a hard time wrapping? Don't you have it's like a box you can stick that in?
Does that have like a handle on the side?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's like a miniature case.
It's a Mexican train for Alex. And I've been tearing down all my boxes as I go.
Well, that's
just listen to that score right there.
It's beautiful.
I would buy the soundtrack to this Hallmark film.
This is not a standard Hallmark soundtrack.
Was this a Hall of Fame movie? No,
No.
it
Actually,
would not have been. Okay.
Just a normal
this was a normal Countdown to
part of
Christmas
their
film.
19,
The 2019 lineup of Countdown to Christmas.
like 19 they did one a week. 2020, I think they were cramming us a lot more.
Two. They did 2 a week in 2020.
And then this is the first
Box and
one.
first, put it in.
Be
Okay.
enough already.
Did
Yeah, this
they
year
even-
they did so many mediocre films. They just were rushing too many.
I-
They really should have focused on 3 or 4 really great films.
That's it.
Did they even have a Hall of Fame film this Christmas season, though? I don't think so.
No, they did not. Not
Did
that I know of.
did the one with the one with
Christopher
Christopher
Lloyd?
Lloyd, was that
That
a
was
Hallmark
not a
Hall of
Hallmark
Fame?
Hall of Fame. That was not a Hall of Fame.
It wasn't movies and mysteries because that's what they.
Kenny's been in other Hallmark films, but
Oh, tons.
this is one of those roles that just fits him so well.
Kenny also played the role of not the same guy, but the same actor, but he was also in A Timeless Christmas.
Yeah, he ran.
His character's name in that film was also Kenny.
Yeah, he ran the museum.
That's right. He was the director of the museum.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in a lot of movies. We always think, oh, there's kids.
How many of them do we need to make?
Like 70.
Holy moly, Ben! You got to get smaller ones. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. There's some smaller ones. That's for Elizabeth.
Okay.
That was a nice little transition from the hotel exterior to her interior of her bedroom.
And
She's
another
proud.
beautiful music cue.
Another,
Yeah.
another great music interlude.
I hate this. All those groupies get her, shoves them in this bag, and you get to see all that glitter everywhere. Ugh.
So what are you gonna do? You need-
I'll just order some different ones. It's not like we're gonna do them tomorrow.
No, and the thing is, those can be used for us.
Yeah. I ordered loaf pans to bake some pumpkin bread for different people in my office. I ordered the wrong size.
What
You
size
gotta
did you
raise-
order?
He got the regular
Large.
size.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's all right.
So you got to go to work tomorrow, Ben.
I do not.
You're
I'm
done.
done for the year. Today was my last day of the year. I go back on January 4th.
Thank you, Michelle.
Okay, Sherry.
Coming up next on Hallmark, a Lacey Chabert free Christmas.
I can only hope.
Okay, there's the signal.
There's Star.
The one that he
I love the
got-
fact that they don't even mention anything. They just show it,
Yeah,
and you know what that meant.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
You knew what it meant. It was a wonderful little bit of foreshadowing of the film, and then there are just great moments like that throughout the whole movie.
I like how they have all these grand trees in the whole hotel, and then in the bar it's just the white ones.
I think it's elegant because it's the ones that you would normally see out on the front lawn.
Or like
Of
the
someone's
ones that
homes?
were up in the at the church.
Yeah,
The baptistry of the church, yeah.
but it's a nice, clean, white stark look, which is beautiful for that setting.
Well, and to be honest, when people are drinking, they don't care.
Oh, I think people.
Correct me if
care.
I'm wrong, but is that the first time that she's actually able to consume anything in the film?
That's right.
Oh my goodness, I had not paid attention to whether or not she.
I mean, that would be one of those little details where, you know, she's at the party, she can't drink or eat anything. She's
I mean, she.
when she's at the bar waiting for what's his name and the drink's cold.
That's right.
He goes to the Italian restaurant, but we never see her eat anything there.
The end.
And
And
they
they
Christmas
happily
happily ever after.
Ugh. And cue the fake snow. Wow. That was very
That is
Wait, let me move that down here so you can actually see that, Carol. A little bit easier to see it.
All right, so are we going to get beignets? Let's talk Disney for a little bit before we sign off. We gotta, we can at least talk a little bit about what we're going to do.
Yeah, we should. But yeah, beignets definitely. Ralph Brennan's beignets.
I kind of overheard that when I was cleaning the stove. I'll have to look at to see if that's really true, because I usually watch some foodie people, and that I did not hear of. But I know they did. Last year they did a Mardi Gras. It was made with nothing but almonds. Beignets. Oh my god!
Yeah, Disney Parks posted it on Twitter, and they said there's 5 new beignets at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen, and they said, which one would you get first? And I responded, the only answer is all of them, and then they liked that. So Disney Parks liked that response. So,
well, we'll definitely.
I'm trying to remember what flavors. I know they had a candy cane and something like a Bananas Foster version, which makes sense because it's Ralph Brennan's Jazz
Bananas
Kitchen.
Foster's?
Yes, a Bananas Foster beignet.
Okay, that's a definite must then.
I will look into that.
We just have to get a flight of them so we can share them and have a nice little treat.
There's 4 in a container. Just you cannot eat them all. There's 4 in a container. It's it's a clear clamshell. What I've seen, and that's what you buy. Is you buy 4.
Well, then we definitely have to try them.
As a serving. We did.
Is it 4? Okay, I thought it was 5. But
it's 4 or 5, and then we did the pumpkin spice, which it was unfortunate it wasn't pumpkin spicy enough for me.
Yeah,
like they barely put enough of spice in the powdered sugar, but it was good because we did a lot of fall stuff and
Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen has a sentimental value to me because, like you guys, I was at DCA when it first opened up for the grand opening. And we were staying, it was myself and my brother, my sister-in-law, their kids, my little niece and nephew. We stayed at the Grand Californian. And I would go down every evening to the Jazz Kitchen. And there was a band that used to be there that would play. There was a house band. There was a Kenny Sarah and the Sounds of New Orleans. And here's a fun fact. The saxophone player that played for that band played the sax solo. Do you remember the song from Glenn Frey, The Heat Is On?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That song. Okay. He was the sax player on that, and he was in that band.
I know that sax solo.
And so
that little riff.
I grew to. I was there so often that we became good friends. Kenny Sarah and I became good friends, and they were the house band there at the Jazz Kitchen for 10 years.
Wow.
Before they finally decided to move on and bring other people in. They would play the Flambeau room is the room where the live music is at.
Flambeau, yeah.
Lambo, huh?
Flambeau, yeah.
We've physically, out of all of that, we've never eaten inside that restaurant. We've always done the handful of times we've done the quick service outside. But what I've heard is if you take West Street or Disneyland Drive and where the monorail track is, everything immediately when you go underneath the monorail track, all that supposedly is getting gutted. And
they're completely redoing the Disneyland Hotel.
So they're going to be incorporating all that area into the Disneyland Hotel. So the Lego, possibly the train station or the monorail station is probably going to get remodeled. But anything from that area is the big redo of Downtown Disney, because everybody's like, oh, they can't change all of Downtown Disney. No, it's from the actual circle of the monorail track. Anything west of the monorail track, hasta la vista. And they could tear all that crap down. The ESPN zone, the old Rainforest, which is just a Star Wars junk store, the movie theater, all that stuff can get leveled. They'll keep Lego, the mall goes there and then it goes back over the street. But all that stuff is going to get ripped out. And you know what? Thank God. The only thing is Earl of Sandwiches. So I'm sure Disney's going to make them very well of moving them somewhere else in a hidey hole somewhere.
Well, see, I didn't know that Earl of Sandwich was at Disney. They must have moved in after.
They did. They moved in. Gosh, what was it, about 2012? They moved in.
And they moved in when it was getting popular, and then they were part of that whole expansion when they were going to put the new 2 giant wings there.
Yeah.
And then the city of Anaheim pitched a fit, and Disney pitched a fit, and the city of Anaheim blinked first, so Mouse said no. And so everything sat, but since everything sat, they brought the Earl of Sandwich back. But everything else there is just junk. I mean, it's good. There's no emotional attachment for that area. On the other side, I do like.
Yeah.
I mean, Downtown Disney has its cool factor. I still never eat at Tortilla Joe's, ever.
Carol, yes, that's true. That is very true. Yes,
Tortilla Joe's, was that always Tortilla Joe's, or did that used to be a different restaurant?
Trying to think the restaurant when it first opened.
Wasn't it like Bongos or something like that?
No, it's always been Mexican.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
I don't know what Tortilla Joe's is. This is in downtown Disney?
Yeah. It used to be where the House of Blues was, across from the House of Blues, which got ripped down. Them is Splitsville now.
Yeah, they tore down the House of Blues and built Splitsville.
Yeah, and then if you go forward,
so there's no more House of Blues Anaheim.
No, they leveled it, and
not at downtown Disney. I believe they moved to a different location. Let me check on that.
I don't think they're in the streets of Anaheim Boardwalk or Anaheim City Walk or whatever. I think they're gone.
They might be.
And that empty area, a lot of people don't know, between which was the House of Blues and Splitsville, there's supposed to be a huge box there. And that huge block of land was supposed to be Disney Quest. And that's still, that block of land is still there.
We all know what happened.
We all know
it's
that. And when
House of Blues does exist in Anaheim, but it's part of the Garden Walk area.
There it is.
So they moved over to Garden Walk off of Catella.
One just said that.
Yeah, they're in. I thought they moved, but then again, I don't know if they survived or if they're around.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to Disneyland. Very excited about it.
Oh, considering it's been over 2 years for me, I'm getting the shakes.
I'm trying to squeeze in an Oliver time with what is supposed to be going on. I still want to get into Trader Sam's. I wanted to get in there to see what tiki mugs they have and just to go. I follow tiki stuff, and they show the decor and all the different tikis have Santa hats on them inside. Trader Sam's.
Well, we do like.
Where's the Trader Sam's?
Disneyland Hotel.
It's in between all 3 towers of the Disneyland Hotel.
By the pool, in the pool area.
Okay, all right. So where the Lost Boys bar used to be?
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Right there, also with the Crystal Shopping Theater too.
So I mean, there's a few things that, again, with the time frame, if it can.
The last.
Let the wind take our back. Huh?
The last time I was at Trader Sam's, I believe Juan Rodriguez was there with us.
And Charlie was alive.
Yeah. Charlie was there too.
Charlie was there. It was June of
2019.
Was it June of 19?
Yeah.
Or was it?
It's been 2.5 years.
It wasn't August of 19.
June.
Well, I'll be there to help the boys film maybe some episodes.
I'm looking forward.
I'm
definitely.
I'll be behind the scenes filming, Life with Ben episodes.
I would love
Disneyland.
that.
But we are going to have some fun. We will be traipsing all over the Disneyland Resort. Lots happening.
Traipsing is the word that I would use. Yes, traipsing.
But yeah, we there's There's things I want, and there's things that are going to be life-changing, monumental things, but nobody can know about those.
We'll talk about that later.
They will never know.
Happens. First of all, this has got to happen.
What happens at Disney stays at Disney.
Yeah, with us right now, what's happening in Disneyland is staying in Disneyland.
Right. Well,
you know,
I'm excited to see DCA. You know, the one thing that I'm most excited is to see Bricky.
Bricky.
I have one of those bricks.
Oh,
near
yeah.
the compass between the two parks.
Yeah.
We do too.
I call him Bricky. So, fun fact: if you're standing at the compass and you're looking north towards Disneyland, right? My brick is in the southeast quadrant next to the compass. If you were to place a map over the compass, roughly the size of the compass for the United States, my brick is about at Orlando.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So I'll show that to you. You'll see it. It's really pretty interesting.
That's
Yeah, I
very
remember
appropriate.
where ours is.
We'll find them.
I know where ours is, Sherry. The
There's
the one that has all three of our surnames.
Yeah.
That one I know.
But yeah, I follow the Disneyland train because I overheard that. And every night they post the sweeper. It's the last train of the night. And so every night I find out, oh, it's Fred Gurley or Ernest Marsh or the Ward Kimball.
So Carol's asking if we'll be live streaming from Disneyland. We're not sure about that. It might happen.
And we're letting the wind take our back. This is
But-
not about YouTube.
So I'll tell you this.
we don't know.
If it does happen, you'll know if you have your bell rung on your subscription. Ring that bell and you'll always know when we go live or when we load new content.
And Arnie, the Fiddlesons and Jeff Brown and his family are going to be there New Year's.
As
at
well as
Disneyland.
Craig and Julia Fixie.
Yeah.
Fixies are gonna be there.
Going to be there.
We
yes.
told them they wanted to hang with us. And I said, sorry, can't. Love you. Gotta. Peace out. So she kind of was like, wow. Sorry, it's
But
not old-fashioned.
I will be
years.
talking to her later about other things. So
I mean, if I will say this: if the boys want to, punch in for a 10-minute check-in, I'll be happy to, run camera for them on a live stream.
that would be.
So we may be standing in front of the, I don't know, what do they call it? Mickey's Fun Wheel. I don't know what they call it anymore. What is it called?
It's Pixar. It's ghastly.
It's
but
they call it the Pixar Pal Around.
Pal Around.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
the whole-
It's the same thing though, right? It's the little
it's the
Ferris
fun-
wheel with the.
Ferris wheel. It's the same Ferris wheel, just a new
Right.
name.
times.
All right, so who knows? We may be on that ride, and the boys might decide, you know what? Hey, let's punch in and let's just do a 10-minute break in. Who knows? We can do that.
Thank you, Carol.
And what is your attraction that you want to do? You're looking forward to doing?
I'm looking forward to. Oh God, now my brain just went dead. I hate when that happens. What was the ride when DCA first opened up that everybody hated?
Oh,
Superstar Limo. Yes.
Oh, you want to go on
Superstar
Monster
Limo.
Inc?
Either that, or I want to go on Bountiful Farms tractors. I want to go look at a tractor.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's now Marvel Land.
That's Marvel Land.
I still marvel at what marvels, no pun intended, me is that they actually thought that was something.
An attraction.
An attraction. Let's put on some Jim Deere tractors and call it Bountiful Farms.
I know.
It was the 90s. Disney lost its way toward the late 90s. And then it took them
A lot of people lost their way in the 90s.
and then almost took $1.5 billion. What took them to remodel it completely is what took them to build DCA, the hotel, and Downtown Disney. So this is where, be smart with your money and think twice. Measure twice, cut once. Disney didn't do that. So now it's just, they're printing money because they can. And they'll always do it because it's Disney.
It'll be interesting because, I'm not a big fan of outside IP being in a Disney park. I mean, technically, it's not outside IP anymore. But I don't go to Disneyland or California Adventure to see Spider-Man.
No, it's a little universal or just like a movie thing. I mean, I get it. They could do it. They're, quote, given what the guests want, whatevs. But I don't think of those two gigantic IPs. Now, Pixar, to me, is 100% Disney. It started out Disney. I think of it Disney. Disney and Pixar just, it rolls off the tongue. That's fine. But yeah, this whole Star Wars Marvel thing.
Well, what's interesting is that I don't feel the same way about the Disney or the Indiana Jones adventure. Obviously, that was outside IP. But I don't feel the same way about that I do about Spider-Man.
I think they did a great job of theming. They made it feel right, as if
they made it feel like it was Adventureland.
Yeah.
And that it belonged there all the time.
But it was also new. They're taking Marvel's been around since the 30s. So it's not like it was part of that zeitgeist of the time, and they just incorporated it so it felt like it could be Disney. And Indiana Jones Disney, yeah, that sounds about right. It was accepted. It was just natural feeling.
I think that maybe the Indiana Jones storyline is very much character driven. Yes, it is an action film, but there's a lot of great characters in those films, and Indiana Jones is an iconic character. I don't know that you consider, or I don't consider Spider-Man. Obviously, is iconic, but I don't equate Indiana Jones and Spider-Man in the same kind of.
No, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Indiana Jones was an original concept for film, as opposed to Spider-Man, which was
right. That's a good point.
Comic book character, and then wedged into a movie.
That's a good point. Ben, I think that's
exactly what it is. I mean, you hit it nail. It was all part of it. Where Spider-Man, after 50 whatever years, let's think about making a movie after it was animated. After it was Spider-Man ever on TV?
Oh yeah,
animation.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
But as a live action
TV show,
not as a series by itself, I believe, but I do remember seeing the character of Spidey on the Electric Company and other things like that.
Yeah. But Spider-Man, it's shaked Hollywood up this past week. Let's just say the aftershocks are still big. Nobody can comprehend the amount of money it made. Nobody. Everybody in Hollywood, that's what they're talking about the past 4 or 5 days. Is the
Spider-Man
amount of money during this COVID time. What they wanted to make all 3 days, they made in Friday. They wanted to make $120 million all weekend.
And that was domestic or worldwide?
That was worldwide.
They wanted worldwide, and it made $500 million.
It ended up being 500 and something.
It was the release of Spider-Man in theaters.
Yeah, they released it last Friday
during a pandemic. That's incredible.
Yeah, and that's what. And then just in 10 days, West Side Story only made $24 million in 10 days worldwide. I mean, worldwide, it's only made $24 million in 10 days. So here comes Spider-Man, something that's been around, and it's insane. I mean, it's just making a massive amount of money. And one of my cast members put up and says, if you give the people what they want, it's easy to print money.
Yeah.
And they're not wrong. I guess the Spider-Man is a great compliment. I mean, unfortunately, I can't watch Spider-Man ever again, because when we watched Spider-Man, the last one, we were very, very grateful and honored to see it at LucasArts at the Presidio in San Francisco with a group of people at Lucas. Yeah. So let's just say they have a special theater that's there's no other theater like this in the United States where it has the best sound system in the world. And we were there. We watched an experience.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think that this new Spider-Man appeals to Gen Z. I mean, they've got Zendaya in the film, and what's the other guy's name? Can't think-
Holland. I mean,
La- Lacey Chalbert's twin. I don't know what his name is. Whatever his
Okay.
name. Timothy,
Well,
whatever his name.
the fact that this Spider-Man movie was made at all is amazing because back 2 or 3 years ago when the other Spider-Man film came out, they started to have like a falling out between the studio and Sony, between Marvel Studio and Sony. So we didn't know if the Spider-Man film would even be made.
yeah, that was actually true. They were starting to do it. Sony wanted more. Marvel / Disney said, "Oh no, we want a bigger cut of it now." And Sony's like, "No, let's keep what we have. Homeostasis. What we have is what we like. We have Spider-Man." And Sony's like, "We're not going to give it." And the Mouse / Marvel are like, "No, we want more." And so they kissed and made up because that's what you do in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But they ended up making it, and it doesn't matter. Everybody wins. I mean, it made an obscene amount of money, like an obscene in 3 days. And it hasn't opened up in China yet, in some of the bigger markets. But this is the only movie in the past 2 years that was acting like it was 2019. All these other movies that are coming out or have ever come out are tanking.
Yeah. So, well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this little chat session that we had. We really appreciate it.
I have a very clean kitchen and a very clean stove.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. And
thank you guys for having me. This is my very first live stream on YouTube.
Richard, it's been a pleasure having you on with us. It's been great.
Absolutely.
Well,
Thank you.
technically, my voice is on the live stream, but you know what I mean.
This is
Exactly.
the best we're going to get.
Exactly. That's fine. And that is just fine. But thank you so much. And everyone, thank you so much for being here tonight and for the super chat that we received. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. We will be back live on Monday night at our regular time, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, with another edition of PTV Live, where we will be doing a retrospect of 2021. We'll be talking a lot about it.
Arnie's making me do 4.5 hours of this.
What's up, Ben?
Tune in for Life with Ben that was posted earlier today. I continue my episode of my wine advent calendar where I drink wine during days 12 and 8 through 18 of the month of December as I make my way through my box of wine.
That's very true. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
That's Life with Ben, Thursdays at 10 a.m., only on YouTube.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Merry Christmas, everyone. We will see you next week for PTV Live.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Okay, I'm missing some games. Where did they?